Siblings rivalry is one thing we must kill from its root as parents. There are some things we do, most times they are unintentional, unintended, but they go a long way in feeding this bad behavior amongst our children. But yet, there are still some parents, especially some mothers, who actively feed this rivalry amongst their children. I personally consider it a very dangerous and unwise game, because when this is nurtured and is full blown, guess who suffers it most? The parents. They do this sometimes for what they can gain in the moment. It's not a wise thing, because it builds this kind of a depth of family dysfunction that can extend into the years, sometimes even into generations. But on the other hand, there are still some of us who does these things unintentionally. This is the people I'm talking to, and this can express in some things like labeling children. This is the smart one, this is the wise one, this is the foolish one, this is the lazy one. These things, putting this label on children, can trigger siblings rivalry on the child, from the child that is at the receiving end, or showing favoritism towards a particular child, or overpraising a particular child. There are so many things we do. It's a full master class if we want to have that conversation, but I just want us to be very intentional on how we relate with our children. I remember in my own case, when my kids were still younger, because my daughter is a girl, she's the youngest, she's calm. My son was all over the place, always the aggressor. So I formed this habit, without knowing it, of always jumping on my daughter's side no matter what, because somehow unconsciously I felt she's always on the receiving side. I didn't know when I crossed the line to the point where my son started feeling like he is less loved. That one day when he was around 5, 6 maybe, and he said something, and I heard him beyond what he said. He said, "Mommy, you love Issy better than I." I stopped in my track. I was shocked. I said, "Why would you say that?" And he gave his reason, and I heard him. I had to sit him down and explain that it's because Issy is a girl. You are the older brother, she's a girl. In any comeback or whatever, most often, chances are that she is the one on the receiving end. But that doesn't mean I love you less and all that. But I started paying more attention to how I react to the things he does or says to her, or how I judge matters. Well, I thought I did, until many years again later, when they were in their preteens, and so we were talking, and I made a joke that I would have been if I would have been a lawyer. The two of them laughed. Even my daughter laughed longest and said that I would have, and she said, "Mommy, you have made a very poor lawyer." I said, "What?" And they now started telling me how most often she will be guilty of something, but when she does her puppy eye and all that, I will jump. I didn't know when she became that conniving little brat. And she was there she was throwing me under the bus, but I didn't even react. I quietly heard what they were saying. I took it. I didn't react. She didn't know it affected me, but I know that however I was handling things was not the right way, that I have to do a U-turn. From that point on, when they have challenges, I don't usually jump in. I allow them solve their problem, and when they bring it to me, I try as much as possible to be objective in how I judge their matters. But above all, I started being very deliberate in having a personal relationship that is exclusive between me and my son. I started being very conscious and intentional of pulling him, drawing him in, just me and him, the same way that naturally, because my daughter, naturally, I call her Gummy Gummy, she's always with me. So chances are I was always relating with her. And of course, she's a girl, so we have girl things to talk about. But now I'm more intentional about spending time with my son. In fact, when we started, like, my daughter will walk in on us and we're just there relaxed, maybe holding hands, and she will like, "What's going on here?" Like she's the only one that have that right. One day I have to tell her, this boy does not have another mother. I am his mother too, and I'm his only mother, so he has that right. So Over time, we have established this unspoken rule that when it's my time with him, nobody crosses it. When it's my time with her, it's my time with her. So everybody on their own feels that special love from me, right? Feels that special love. So that was me being intentional on how I relate. As a mother, most especially, you are in a position to be the glue that brings your children together. There are some deliberate steps you can take in making sure that they develop friendship amongst themselves. Like with I noticed some at a certain point in their lives that my daughter was really feeling like the brother didn't really love him. But I know there are some things the brother does or says behind her that I know the brother loves her to the bone. So I will start sharing these things. When they say things like that, or I feel that kind of vibe, I will start telling her the things her brother have said behind her or have done behind her that expresses deep love for her. Even some battles he comes to fight with me on her behalf, that she does, I have this conversation, or some things that he does that is him showing love in a guy's way, but my daughter will see it like he's interfering. I said, this is him expressing love. He misses you. That was why he did this, and vice versa. We always have this conversation in our home on how family comes first. It's a resounding theme in our home. It's a resounding song that we won't get tired of singing. And every day we can see it manifesting in how they relate with themselves and how they relate with the world as a unit. You know, we keep resounding it. We take up every opportunity to tell them, to teach them that they must be each other's strongest fan and strongest defender against the world. It doesn't matter what's going on at home. It doesn't matter if they just finish fighting at home. If they go out there, they are each other's strongest defense. They are their defense against the world. I don't care that when push comes to shove, everybody goes home. So they must make sure that their home front is tight. It's our job as a parent to keep having this conversation, because you don't want to raise a family that few years from now can't stand each other. Few years from now won't even be coming home because they don't want to see the other siblings. I'm sure that is not what you want. So do something about it. If this is the first time you are coming in contact with my posts, my name is May, your favorite family-centered parenting coach. I invite you to join me in the Smart Parenting Club, a community for driven women like you who want to succeed both in the home and in the marketplace while having a very fulfilling life for themselves.